Do not do anything with that knife. No, no,
he wants me to. He told me to, right?
No.
Oh, this is so much better than the sandwich
right now.
So here's the part that Boogie legit started going on an insane mode. He legit started grabbing a knife after Destiny was on his ass for a long time. I may not be the biggest Destiny fan, especially after the stuff he said, but I do think he's good at discussions and talking this and that. He definitely has a talent in that aspect. So Boogie basically started grabbing a knife and he started threatening to do stuff I cannot say on YouTube, but I don't think I need to explain. Welcome back by a new video on my channel. Today your boy GenNot is gonna take a look at some other silly YouTube drama, so I know you're gonna enjoy it, I just know it. So go sit down, press the like button if you want to. So I'm gonna make a follow-up video on the entire Boogie situation. The storyline of Boogie continues. So if you don't know, in the previous video I was talking about the entire controversy that was going on with Boogie. So basically a year ago Boogie was saying that he had cancer, but then Destiny started confronting Boogie because Destiny was thinking that Boogie didn't have cancer. So Boogie was then saying that he don't know if he had cancer, he was never diagnosed, but his hormones were all messed up, so he was thinking by himself that he had the cancer. I mean, in other words, he was never diagnosed with it, but he was still claiming to have cancer. So a lot of people obviously became really upset with Boogie because that's something that's not socially acceptable, claiming that you have cancer when you don't have it. I mean, he can still have it, but he is never diagnosed or labeled with it by a doctor, so you probably shouldn't be saying that you have a disease when you were never labeled by it. I'm just saying that's not a good idea. So in the previous video I told you guys that Boogie basically was saying as well that he is stopping YouTube, that he is now deactivating his Twitter, that he is not coming back, that this was the end of the Boogie storyline. Obviously he lied again. He came back a couple days after saying that. What a big surprise, right? You just know that someone like Boogie can never stop being online because he obviously needs an income and he's obviously not gonna have a normal job. To be fair here, it would be really difficult for someone like Boogie to have a normal job because he's obviously an older man and pretty unhealthy. I mean, maybe he can have like a job in the office, but I don't know his education level, so it'd be pretty difficult, honestly. So you're probably wondering by yourself, what is the big update? What is happening in the Boogie situation? So a couple of things. First of all, Boogie now got fired from the podcast Keemstar's having.
You're fired. You have to be fired. You are fired. You're retarded. You're retarded.
That's the word. That's the word I use.
In the previous episode, Keemstar wasn't really sure if he should be firing Boogie, this and that, but obviously the entire chat turned against Boogie, so I guess that is less income for my man Boogie, which is not good for him at all because he's obviously almost e-begging again. And another thing that happened is obviously that Destiny and Boogie started talking again. I mean, it wasn't really talking, it was just screaming against each other.
Horrible, I'm so sorry. However,
knows the kind of person you are, so
however,
anyway.
if you
watching this knows that you mocked
everybody knows
fireman who exercised his political right. I don't need to
at your house, you know, who knows? Maybe someone in your neighborhood will catch a bullet if the wrong person shows up and starts bullying you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you threaten my life and stand on my property, you will get shot.
Okay. Anyway,
what does that have to do with anything related to this?
I don't know. He's deflecting.
He brought it up. He brought it up.
He's deflecting. I'm just saying you can't.
He's the one who brought it up. I don't know. He's the one who brought it up.
So these are lies that he doesn't want to confront yet.
Boogie started mentioning the entire situation around Destiny. I made a video about it, but in short, Destiny basically started saying some really radical and honestly crazy stuff, basically disrespecting the person that passed away, the father, even replying to the pic where you still can see the blood. I made a video about it and people were still defending Destiny, even in my comment section, and they were saying, oh, you shouldn't be talking about American politics, drugs, this and that. And I'm thinking by myself, this has nothing to do even with politics. This is legit someone that passed away that Destiny is disrespecting. It has nothing to do with politics. Don't use that argument. And I'm still standing with my point. I think this has to do with just human sense to not say that type of stuff. That person legit was a father. Someone is legit in pain. And now Destiny is legit making such rude comments. This has nothing to do with politics. I just want to point that out for the people that were saying that I shouldn't be talking about it, this and that.
About right now. I can't taste anything, but I drink aspartame soft drinks.
You're encouraging people to cut lunch. That's fucking heard. The guy who laughed at Donald Trump's assassination attempt is telling people to cut.
So this was at the end of the podcast, and this was the wildest stuff you can imagine. Boogie was legit threatening to do something I cannot say on YouTube because Destiny was confronting him over and over again, calling out all the lies because he was legit changing the story over and over again. First he was saying that he was diagnosed, then he wasn't. He was legit lying over and over again. It was really confusing to follow. I highly suggest watching that episode because it's really funny, honestly. But here legit Boogie started going insane. Boogie was talking about obviously the Destiny situation, and I would say this, I think both Destiny and Boogie did something really awful. I don't know who's worse, the person that's legit faking an awful disease or the person that's legit making fun of a person that passed away defending his family. I think both did something that was really awful. I do think everyone can redeem him or herself, so I would say that, but I'm just gonna show you the clip.
Do not do anything with that knife. No, no,
Hold on.
no.
No, he wants me to. He told me to, right?
No,
He told me to.
no.
Oh, this is so much better than the sandwich.
Right now.
So much better than
So here is the part that Boogie legit started going on an insane mode. He legit started grabbing a knife after Destiny was on his ass for a long time. I may not be the biggest Destiny fan, especially after the stuff he said, but I do think he's good at discussions and talking this and that. He definitely has a talent in that aspect. So Boogie basically started grabbing a knife and he started threatening to do stuff I cannot say on YouTube, but I don't think I need to explain it. So basically that was the end of the podcast where Boogie legit at the end started threatening to do really bad stuff. To do that is honestly wild. Just so you know, Boogie is alright. If you saw the tweet of Keemstar, he didn't do anything, so I guess he was just doing it for the attention and clouds. I mean, are we really surprised? It's Boogie after all. So doing that legit on a live stream, in my opinion, is really wild. So if you saw the podcast itself, you can see that Boogie was lying over and over again, making another story up, then saying this, then saying that. And yeah, I'm just gonna read some of the comments because I know it's kind of serious what Boogie is doing at the end, but I do think it's more of an act than him legit wanting to do that. I honestly think that, but leave your thoughts on that in the comments as well. Someone is saying you can tell how done Keem is with this stuff. I do agree. Keemstar did fire him after all, and that's definitely not something that happens easily because obviously someone like Keemstar is all about the drama, all about the wild stuff, and even in that podcast you could see that even Keemstar was done with Boogie's ridiculous behavior because over and over again he was lying. This entire situation could just have avoided if Boogie would have waited for a doctor legit to label him with the disease, but instead of that, obviously he maybe thought himself that he had it without the doctor saying it because his hormones seemed to be all messed up. But you should have waited, man. Like, you legit destroyed your image more than it already was. If you would have waited, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he still has the disease. Who really knows? I mean, someone like Boogie is obviously at a high chance of having something like that. But he wanted to have the views for that entire video. He even said that himself. If he would have waited and he would have been labeled, he could have made a video and nobody would have gone after him. But of course, he couldn't control himself. But having said all of this, I hope you enjoyed this entire situation with Boogie and Destiny. If you did, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe on the channel, and I will see you all in the next one.